Hello everyone! For my new video and in preparation for their newest comeback Scream, I will be going through my little SF9 collection here, as well as putting away a bunch of the photo cards that I managed to collect the past couple of months. I'll be completely honest, I did actually take out a bunch of these photo cards just for the sake of the video, and because I realized that this collect book here is incredibly disorganized. And I thought, you know what, I might as well take this time to go through and redo everything, especially because I am anticipating quite a few more cards for this new era of theirs. I will just be doing a little voiceover while I slowly flip through my A5 binder. Just so you know, in case you're wondering, this is actually originally a planner that came with her 2022 season's greeting, and I just decided to remove all the actual useful planner pages and throw in some of these A5 pages myself, just so I can actually have a nice cohesive little binder for all of my SF9 photo cards, especially because I know that SF9 is going to be one of the groups that I will be collecting pretty extensively. So SF9 is what I would consider to be one of my top 3 K-pop groups, or at least top 3 K-pop groups in terms of who I collect and how I collect. So SF9 is actually the only one of the 2 groups where I actually open fansign group orders for, and because I managed to open quite a few group orders and get joiners who only wanted the POB only, which is the pre-order benefit that came with the albums, it's essentially just a free card that comes with the additional cards that already included inside the album. Because a lot of people only wanted those photo cards because they already have the album photo cards, I actually managed to trade a lot of those rumination photo cards for older era ones. So these 2 RPM photo cards here, I actually got in a trade. Rumination photo cards themselves are probably only going for 5 to 6 USD, and you see RPM going for a little higher. I am also managing to trade for pre-order benefits too from Turnover. So these I got through trading regular album photo cards as well. Except this Kino one. This Kino one I had to buy. So as you can tell, my collection is mostly a mess of everything. I don't collect a single member. I do try to prioritize Dawon because he is my bias. He is the person who I go for when it comes to fan signs, but I like them all enough to just freely collect their photo cards, especially for previous eras where I'm not too picky, and I do think they look a little. I like the photo card concepts back then a little more. In case you're curious, I split up my binder between every other era that's not Rumination, considering that Rumination is the era that I decided to fully stan, pre-order benefits for Rumination, and then regular album photo cards. These are the regular album photo cards here. You can tell by the very consistent back that they all have. And these empty pages back here are where I will put my pre-order benefits from the previous era. A lot of these are not pre-order benefits, but I do have a couple of OT9, or I have one OT9 set that I would like to put away on camera. So these 2, or actually just this one because this is actually an empty page, but this photo card and these 4 here are all freebies. I mostly use them as a placeholder for when I have all these other photo cards that are coming in. So it's likely that I will take those out now, so I have space for these cards without running out of these A5 cards, or these A5 binder sleeves, because I'm just not too interested in going back and buying more. So SF9's fandom color is actually, I think it's called Fantasia Hollow, which explains this little rainbow cover for their binder here and why I have most of their photo cards in these rainbow holographic sleeves as well. I do have a small gripe with these hollow sleeves, is that they do make the photo card look a little cloudy. It's really not a big issue. I do think that the holographic photo card, or the holographic sleeves generally do look nice. but if clarity is a really big issue, I don't really recommend them. And they're also not PVC free, but I don't care too much about PVC freeness because I don't live in a too hot or cold area, and I store all of my photocards away from the sun and any extreme heat, so I don't think my photocards will get damaged. I've also been collecting for quite some time, and I know I definitely used PVC present sleeves before, and some of my photocards that I've had since 2015, they're fine. They're not peeling or anything. They're not discolored or whatnot, but I still think that if it's something that bothers you, it's something that you should consider when looking at these hollow sleeves. This is going to be my page for, what was this, Sensuous? Yes, this was Sensuous with the title track, Now or Never. I have to admit, that is probably my, top 2 title tracks from them. I was really jamming out to that song when it first came out in 2017 or 2018. It came out in 2018, I'm pretty sure. That was one of my favorite songs from them. Still is one of my favorite songs. And unfortunately, this version that I'm putting away right here, which is what version is this? There's like an emptiness and a sensuous. No, wrong one. I'll look it up later and put it up on the screen. I should have probably prepared a little more for this video, but I am a little crunched for time today, and I just wanted to put these photocards away because I am also running out of space. But this album is probably one of my favorite, just in terms of design, and the fact that this version here, which is the pink one compared to the white and gray one, it came with magnets that I'm actually really into. And I think it's sold out everywhere, or they're just not allowed to ship overseas for some reason for, I guess, the magnets. But this version is impossible to find. I managed to find someone on Instagram who was selling it with the full inclusions for, I think, $15 US, which is honestly, that's a steal to me. Like, I don't think I'm ever going to get cheaper than that, even though it is technically secondhand, but it comes with all the inclusions, which is why I'm not too disappointed with it. I'm going to take this out because I actually have a photocard from the other white version here. I'm going to rearrange this. I didn't really plan for this video beforehand. I just really need to get these photocards out just so I can prepare for their new era. But yes, my next collecting goal, if it's not finishing their photocards for this newest era and getting into a fansign, I think I would try to complete the magnets for this one, for Sensuous. I don't know why I like the magnets so much, I just think they're really fun. It's such a unique inclusion to have, and I don't know, I think it'd be nice for my second OT9 set to be magnets, from a really good album too. I don't think I mentioned this yet, but in case it's hard for you to realize or notice, considering my photocards are kind of random in terms of who I collect, but my bias actually is dawon. It's dawon and rumun first and foremost, except rumun is not participating in this recent comeback, which hasn't come out yet, but it was an interesting thing to find out. You can kind of tell that he's been working really hard with his dramas the past couple of years. I just never thought it would get to a point where they would remove him from the comeback. In case you didn't know, he's actually not participating in this comeback because filming and shooting for the music video and recording for all the songs actually took place while he was filming the Netflix drama Tomorrow. So they released a notice like last month in June that he wasn't going to be part of the album, which was really sad because it kind of felt like FNC was trying to shut him out, but I'm trying not to put too much stock into it. I don't want to think about it too much because it's a little upsetting not seeing your bias there. So even though they're called SF9, now there's only 6 members promoting because Insong and Youngbin are enlisted right now. But that's okay. I've come to terms with it for the most part. I'm still gonna support this album even though I know I don't want to say it's a cash grab by FNC, but I am still a little upset with how all of that came out. Because they didn't even say anything that Rowan wasn't going to be participating in it. It was just kind of dropped on us for the most part. From what I remember, at least. I just remember being really annoyed. And part of me did want to... I forgot the word for it. But part of me did want to not support this recent album, just because I don't want FNC to think, oh, you know, those fantasies have lower expectations, and we can just grab whatever money we can from them. I didn't want them to think that, but at the same time, you know, I really like them as a group. They're some of my favorite people. They're some of my favorite K-pop idols. So I still want to be a good fan and support them. And I know you don't have to be a good fan to, like, spend money on them. That's not the bottom limit to be a good fan. But I just think to myself that I would like to support them. I really like the rest of the members, with or without my main bias being there. Or without my secondary bias being there. So it's not something I'm too upset about. I just really hope he's there for the next one before he has to enlist. Before Rowan has to enlist. So, those are my thoughts on it. I know there's been a lot of negativity and or speculation on the future of SF9, but I refuse to get involved in those conversations because that just makes me sad, and K-pop is fun. It's a hobby. I don't want to put too much stock into what goes on in their lives or anything. Oops. So I will just keep collecting my pretty cards. I'll spend money where I see fit. And you don't have to be... You're not only a good fan if you spend all of your money on them or if you collect everything that they come out with. Because SF9 actually recently came out with some photo books, and those, I'll be honest, those definitely felt like a cash grab. I wasn't interested in the concepts themselves either, so I decided not to go for them. Especially because we knew that the comeback was coming so soon, and I wanted to spend my money elsewhere. AKA on the comeback, and maybe going for a fan sign again. I don't know why I'm twisting my arm like this. I keep hitting my tripod, which I'm sure will bother people. It's bothering me, first and foremost, but I am mostly just filling in the gaps where, honestly, you can kind of tell that I just took out a bunch of photo cards before. These are all the photo cards that I have left from Rumination and from when I did those fan signs. I ended up opening for 2 sites for a one-on-one. I don't know how many full fan signs they actually did last era. I'm pretty sure it was something around 20, definitely upwards of 20. But I managed to trade a lot of these photo cards away for the photo cards that you see here. Which is nice because for the 3 versions of Rumination that they came out with, I'm really not interested in the yellow photo cards for some reason. I think those came out to have like a really weird color on them. They're like weirdly saturated, these 3 down here. So, I'm okay with not finishing that collection. Each member had 2 photo cards per version. And then 3 versions, which is a lot of cards I just wasn't too interested in collecting. I'm not a completionist, as I mentioned before. I'm putting this here for the time being. I can go through it, I'll probably go through it and clean these up later, but not a priority right now, because I just want to get these photo cards in their homes so I can prepare for the next era. So that's it for the album photo cards that I managed to trade away for everything else that I had. And here are the pre-order benefits that I have. Yep, for the pre-order benefits that I have for Rumination. So I'm just gonna go sort these based off of backs. This one here is my first OT9 set, or I guess maybe this will look better. My first OT9 photo card set from them, because I went for a dawon fan sign. And I decided to be dumb Yeah, I basically decided to be dumb and just go for a fan sign because honestly, I was mostly using it as practice for when I go for Pentagon fan signs because Pentagon actually is my alt group and I heard rumors that they were coming out with an album soon, so I wanted to see what it was like to run an album fan sign or to run an album group order with the intention of getting into the online video call. And I also did want practice just in case I did manage to get into any Pentagon ones. I wanted to know what I could expect from the site, from the experience, from actually talking to an idol, things like that. So this one, Youngbin is on dawon. Okay. I love how their fan chant actually goes in age order, minus Rowoon and Zuho. I'm pretty sure those are flipped because Rowoon is considered to be the center, but having their fan chants go in age order is amazing because it really helps me organize their photocards because I try to go in age order when I can. I did end up getting into this fan sign, which I think is Apple Music. Okay, that one I think was Everline. That was an Everline because they tend to give winners an extra full set. So even though I ordered more albums than was probably necessary, I got in and decided to just keep. Oh no. Yeah, I decided to get an extra OT9 set myself in addition to the claims that I let other people take. And then so I had those extra 9 albums, and then Everline gave me an additional 9, so I had 9 extra pre-order benefits to somehow get rid of in that time span. So I don't think I have any extra POBs right now, which is really nice because I am ready for this next era, and so I can clown with my money. This is actually the first fan sign that I did, but I'm putting these photo cards second because I do want a nice OT9 spread for the beginning. This one is Apple Music, and I kind of messed up for this one because I ended up only ordering however many claims that I got. So, I ordered as many OT9 sets as I had completed through claims, and then I think I ordered an additional, 5 over that. So I'm very lucky that they actually gave me my biases, which is dawon and Rowoon, because otherwise I would have just had to trade. I wasn't interested in getting another OT9 set, just because I wasn't actually sure if I would get it or not. I did, luckily. I got into both of the SF9 fan signs that I applied for, which is why I'm kind of considering going for another one this era. I really like SF9, I do. I love talking to dawon. He was the one who I entered for, and I got him both times. And I have to say, even though they're really short, even though the fan signs are short, no one's saying that they aren't. They're I think they're given maybe 2 minutes? Yeah, I think my one-on-ones were 2 minutes. Even though they're only 2 minutes, you still manage to have a lot of fun. I really enjoyed talking to him. I think he has a really great demeanor. Also, quick disclaimer, I am going to go outside of age order here, just because I kind of want these 2 in-songs on the same page. So these will go separately in the back there. This is just going to be my most miscellaneous pre-order benefit ones. I traded for this POB. This is so cute. Jaeyoon is not my bias, but he and Yoo Taeyang, in my opinion, are basically perfect. So I don't know why he's not my bias, but this is one of my favorite cards of his. I'm so glad that person was willing to trade with me. I forgot what I traded for. I think I traded for an ATEEZ album PC. But such a cute card. I think Jaeyoon has a really great personality too. I'm not going to go for one of his fan signs because I think he's a little harder to get into, at least just based off of how many people I see claiming him on Instagram right now. But darn. How will I organize these? I know 2 of these are lucky draws, so I should put those together. because I actually joined another group order for SF9 before I decided to go for one of their fan signs myself. So I know that 3 of these are lucky draws, and I joined for both dawon and rumination. Okay, maybe I'll just put the Polaroid on the next page so that they can be together. But yes, I really enjoyed my time with dawon. I honestly only went for SF9's fan sign because I saw that one of my friends was doing it. And she was very transparent on how many orders or how many albums she was going to buy for the fan sign. And when I saw that it was a lot smaller than what I was used to, like I used to collect ATs pretty heavily before, and ATs, God, I hear about their fan sign cuts. That's a lot of albums, and I just didn't want to deal with the idea of potentially going for an AT's fan sign and losing, so, like, AT's fan signs, those album cuts are really high. That's just not something that I'm comfortable spending that much money on in order to get into a fan sign for. But when I saw my friend's count and the fact that she actually got into the fan sign for the number of albums that she bought, I thought to myself, why not? You know, if I lose, it's fine because I was planning on collecting their albums, or collecting these photocards pretty thoroughly anyways. I think I would have been upset, but I don't think I would have been crying over it. So I decided to go for that, and then I did actually end up winning. So she won, she had her call, she told me all about it and then gave me tips, and I was like, you know what, because she won, I'm gonna try. And then I tried, and then I won like a couple days after her. So luckily I had the extra days of her telling me how her call went and how calls tend to go in general before I decided to go through mine, which is really great. I had no idea that fan signs would go as fast as they actually did. Let me just do a little flip through because I finally put away all my photo cards that I've had just lying around for the past couple of months, because Rumination came out in November, and I got most of these GOs, or most of my own group orders, I would say in January and February. God, they did a lot of fan signs that era, so I'm definitely gonna wait until the latter months to go for another fan sign of theirs.